everybody. How are you? Wow. Okay, we're all going to stand up. Stand up. It is early. It is raining outside, and we need a boost of energy. So we're all just going to put our arms up in the air, shake them around. Good. I won't make you touch your toes because some of us are wearing dresses. That's okay. Good. One more time. A little bit more. Jazz hands, right? Good. Big smile on your face. Give your neighbor a high five. We all woke up this morning. Yes. Okay, you can have a seat. Good. How much more energy do you have now? You feel better? Okay, good morning. There we go. That's so much better. I'm really excited to get the opportunity to speak to you guys. I will give you a little bit of background. I have been a personal trainer since 2006, and that's what I did for a very, very long time. I did in-home personal training with women and boot camps, and eventually ended up getting divorced and had to do a big girl job, and I hated it. And so I left that, and as I'm growing up, realizing that fitness is not the end all, be all, and for real lasting change, there has to be something that happens up here as well. So that's kind of my background and how I got to where I am today. And I was working in corporate last year. So if you saw me last year, you may have met me then, and I was working for a wonderful company, but I wasn't aligned with myself. And so I left that job in January and went back out on my own, got a couple certifications, and here I am today. So I appreciate all of you being here. We are actually going to start with you. So you should have a paper in front of you that says I am at the top. And we're going to start there. And what I want you to do is, first off, take a big deep breath in. And exhale. Clear your mind. I want you to forget about everything that you have to do later today. I want you to focus on yourself in this moment. I want you to be present in this moment. We miss out on so many opportunities to connect with ourselves because we are constantly thinking about the next thing that we have to do, or what's on our calendar, who do we have to call, who's texting us. We have to respond right now. And so taking a big deep breath in, taking a moment, and just being present with yourself right now in this moment. Now I'm going to ask you to do something a little bit scary. I want you to fill in all the blanks under I am with an I am statement. So I am blank. I am blank. Whatever comes to your mind. I am. Okay. How many of you felt that was hard to come up with 10 I am statements? Or was it easy? So you all have, there's a mirror on your table. Hopefully you can get them open. In the year of COVID, they are sealed shut. The season of COVID, I guess. Yeah, you might have to, if you can't get them open, that's okay. They are yours to keep. It's a reminder of how amazing you are. But now I want you to think about your morning when you wake up and you look in the mirror. Are those the same I am statements that you say to yourself when you are looking face to face in the mirror? What I am statements come to mind when you are face to face with yourself? Lisa? Anybody else have some different I am statements when we come face to face in the mirror?
Whoops, there's a new wrinkle.
Oh, there it is. Can you guys relate? Do you see? Yep. Pat?
I am thankful
Yes, I love that. I love that. That's good.
Yeah, I think when I look in the mirror, sometimes it's easier for the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not valued.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not loved.
Yeah. Anybody relate to that? Mm-hmm. Anybody look in the mirror and just start to find all of the things that are wrong with us? Right? So that's why those I am statements are so important to have in front of us to constantly remind us who we really are, because our reflection doesn't give us our whole picture, and we are easily creating self-doubt and negativity into our minds every single morning when we start to self-criticize and self-doubt, and that's how we leave the day. So if you're doing that, kind of start to think about that a little bit. So we're going to talk about lasting change and how that affects us. So what we believe about ourselves affects our goals. Does anybody have any physical goals? Anybody want to lose some weight? Anybody want to get in better shape? Anybody feel like it's kind of there, but maybe it's not what we are striving for? But even other goals as well, financial goals, occupational goals, travel goals, anything like that something that we don't have right now that we want. A lot of times our beliefs, our limiting beliefs, are holding us back. So, like I said before, personal trainer, certified health coach, certified life coach, and certified mindset coach. And it all ties together. So when we have our goals and we just focus on the behavior and we're not looking inside at who we are and why we aren't behaving the way that we would like to behave, that's where the change happens. So, a couple things about me. As I was going on my own self journey, I realized some things about myself. And that's the really cool thing. When you really set a goal and you dive into it and you really start to connect with yourself, because the relationship with yourself is so important when you're trying to make long-lasting changes. You have to know who you are and where you want to get to and what you need to do to get there. So you have to really start to pay attention to the behaviors and the actions and the thoughts that are going through your own mind on a daily basis in all areas of your life, because the other areas of our lives affect our physical goals. Whether we like it or not, they do. So what I realized about myself was that I have an anxious attachment style, and it was affecting a lot of my relationships, which was causing a lot of emotional turmoil and causing me to gain a lot of weight because of anxiety. And so I had to start to really pay attention to that and take steps to overcome that and to really be aware of it. I am a self-proclaimed recovering Karen. Any other Karens in the room? No? Yes. Yes, you are the Karen. Does everybody know what a Karen is? Basically, if your water is empty on the table at a restaurant and the waiter walks by you, you're going to make sure that they know that your water is empty. Or if you're standing at the restaurant too long, you have to, it just builds up. The anxiety builds up, and you're like, somebody has to know that I feel this way and that they aren't doing the right thing, right? So I know that there's a lot more Karens in here that aren't raising their hand. I'm a self-proclaimed failure. Anybody else a failure in here? No? Everybody succeeded in every single thing you've ever done? Raise your hand. We are all failures. Be proud of failure. Be proud of failure. When we start to create a relationship with failure, that is failure equals opportunity and growth and learning, then we can start to really take action and start to grow, because we all fail. And if we look at failure as a negative thing, then that's where we're going to stay. We're going to stay in that negative mindset. So we have to take failure and we have to not look at it as this self-defeating thing, but an opportunity for self-growth. So if you are not a failure, I want you to write that down. I am a failure. I'm a failure every single day. I fail every single day. Great. That means I woke up and I put my pants on and I went out and I tried. And if we're not failing, then we're not learning. So When we go into our goals, expect failure. Welcome it. Be excited about it. So there's 3 things that must change to create long-lasting change. I'm not sure what happened there. Beliefs, behaviors, and identity. A lot of times when I'm just going to use weight loss as an example today, but usually when we want to lose weight, we wake up, we're like, oh, it's Monday, I'm going to lose weight this week, right? And we are like, okay, I'm going to get to the gym, I'm going to eat right today, and we go straight to the behavior because we know what we're supposed to do, right? We go straight to the behavior. But we're not looking at what's the beliefs that surround why we're in the spot that we are. What are those beliefs? And then our identity, the I am statements. When you're looking in the mirror, how are you identifying yourself with that goal? And that's huge. These all play a part on each other. So they all help each other with that change. It's a synergistic relationship. Okay, so it's a vicious cycle, right? We wake up, we want to work out, we want to start eating right, we want to start losing weight. Maybe we're just not eating carbs for an entire week, right? We're going to lose the weight because we're going on vacation on Friday and we just started our goal on Monday. So it's going to happen. So we start on Monday and Monday goes great. Monday goes great. Tuesday, yes, we start, Tuesday morning, we do breakfast is great. We pack our clothes for the gym, and then something happens. Work is stressful, so we're like, okay, I'm going to go out to eat for lunch, and that's fine. I'll get back on it tonight. I'll have a good dinner. And then the kid calls, and we don't have time to go to the gym because that takes precedent, right? And so we start to derail. And by Wednesday, we're looking in the mirror, saying we failed. And, well, it's okay. I'll just go to the beach fat. It's fine. So we start, but we don't finish. And then does that sound familiar? We start, and we're all gung-ho. We're motivated. Life starts to happen, and we just stop. And then we feel like we've just failed. And when we feel like we've failed, and we don't use it as a learning opportunity, then it creates this vicious cycle because we start to create the shame and the doubt and the negativity. I told myself I couldn't do it. I knew I couldn't do it. Well, the belief, I knew I couldn't do it. I'm just fat. It's fine. It's going to be that way. I can live with it. It's not that bad, right? So we start to create those thoughts and those feelings. So your beliefs lead to thoughts. Your thoughts lead to feelings, and your feelings lead to behaviors. Your behaviors create your outcome. And then your outcome leads to more beliefs. We typically start with the behavior. We're going to start doing this. I'm going to start getting up every morning. I'm going to start that habit. Get up every single morning. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do what I need to do. If we don't start to look at the beliefs behind our actions and our behaviors, it's not going to work. We're going to just be pulled right back. This is a relationship between the past you, the present you, and the future you. If you don't know where you want to go, the past you is constantly going to try and keep you comfortable. The past you is a really nice person. She wants you to be happy and safe and comfortable. The future you knows what is possible for you and wants you to get uncomfortable. And the present you has to decide, who am I going to listen to? But if you don't know where you want to go, if you don't have that goal in mind, then you're constantly going to be pulled back to your past behaviors. So change has to come from a place of love. I know that I've had clients in the past that say, well, if I just tell myself how fat and ugly I am, it's going to motivate me to want to make a change. It's not, because you believe that you're fat, you believe that you're ugly, and your actions are going to reiterate that. Your actions are going to keep proving to yourself that you are fat and that you are ugly. So how do we change that mindset? We change that mindset by constantly reminding ourselves who we are. Because when we're not looking in the mirror, it's a lot easier to write down who we are. So you Post-it notes on your table. I won't make you write 10 of them. Pick your top I am statements, your top affirmations, and you're going to write them down. So think about a goal that you might have. Where do you want to get to? Where are you now? Where do you want to get to? I hope everybody has some kind of a goal that they want to get to, right? You're not just waking up and just going through the motions. Write down an I am statement of, you might not believe it right now today. What do you want to believe? What do you want to be true for yourself? If you want to be happy and healthy, put, I am happy, I am healthy. Your actions will start to follow those beliefs. So take a second. There's lots of Post-it notes. Write them out. You're going to use these. You can stick them on your dashboard. You can stick them on your mirror. You can stick them on your forehead. You can stick them wherever you can see them in the morning, on your nightstand. This works with small children too. If we constantly are telling a small child that they're not worthy and they're not lovable, they're going to start to believe that. If we tell them that they're amazing and that they're capable, that's what they start to believe, and they start to respond and behave in that way. It's the same with ourselves. What kind of relationship do you want to have with yourself? So you can take a second to write down some of those, take them with you, stick them everywhere. It's amazing how you start to act in the way that you speak to yourself. Okay, I'm going to speed up here. Okay, so what's your goal? Write down one goal. First goal that comes to your mind, just write it on that piece of paper. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. One goal. Doesn't have to be a big goal. It could be just a goal to work out today. How many of you are like, that is not my goal? Definitely not the goal. We all know what we need to do. Right underneath that, you're going to write 3 action steps that you can take to meet that goal. 3 action steps. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about your motivation. Motivation is your reason why. Biggest thing I hear from clients, I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated to do it. Your motivation, your big motivation, you're not going to be motivated every single day. How many of you were motivated to get out of bed today? You get up anyway. How many of you, well, this is not a good one because all of you have amazing jobs and you love your jobs, but how many of you are just motivated to go to work every single day? We go, yeah. I know, you guys love your job, so that's not a good example. There's things that we do every single day that we're not necessarily motivated to do, but we do them anyway because there is a bigger motivation behind it, a deeper motivation, and you have to find your deeper motivation. To get to that deeper motivation, you ask yourself, why do I want this goal? And then you go deeper. Why do I want that? Why do I want that? Why do I want that? You keep asking yourself that why question. Get comfortable with asking yourself questions to go deeper. So if you want to take a minute, just write down your motivation. You can dig deeper later. But taking action is the biggest step. We think about things so much. We think about change. We think about what we want to do. We research. We're on our phone constantly. We're probably going to look up 10 books on how to do what we want to do, right? Or we'll listen to podcasts. We'll look at Instagram for inspiration to get us motivated. But unless we start to take action and get comfortable with failing, we're not going to get there. Okay, I'm going to go through these 5 habits. These are the 5 foundation habits that I use with my clients. These are the 5 habits that set us up for success in a healthy lifestyle. So if we aren't doing these, it can create that vicious cycle. So If we aren't getting our water, it can cause cravings. If we aren't getting our sleep, we're in a bad mood and we're going to want bad food. We're not going to be motivated or have the energy to work out. If we are stressed and anxious, then it can disrupt our sleep. They all work together. So if you want to start moving the needle in the right direction, start with the basics. We want to jump straight into the big behavior change when we aren't even doing the basics yet. Start with the basics and then learn and grow from there. You don't have to jump right into counting macros. That is exhausting. And you're going to quit if you're not used to already tracking your food or paying attention to what you're doing. Okay? So just start with maybe adding in a little bit more protein or maybe cutting out an extra pop a day. Start somewhere and then grow from there. All right, so we're going to go through all of these. Water. How many of you drink half of your body weight in ounces of water every single day? Yes. Good job. Step 1 right there. If I can give you anything to take away from today, start drinking more water. It will help you sleep better. It will help with your weight loss. It helps with detoxification. It helps with gut health, which is a whole nother presentation and the hub of your entire well-being. It boosts energy. It helps to reduce risk of injury. Your muscles have fascia, and there's water in that fascia. And as you move, they glide and they slide. If you are dehydrated, guess what? It's like friction on there. You don't move as well. Guess what? We have aches and pains and cramps and all of that stuff, okay? You have inflammation, drink more water. Water is literally your best friend. Can I drink seltzer water? Okay, yes, if that's better than what you're already doing. If you can start to get to pure water, that is the best thing for you. But again, progress over perfection. Start to move that way. Natural flavoring, artificial flavoring. Natural flavoring is not natural. It's not natural. Half your body weight in ounces of water every day. I don't recommend if you're not drinking any water to just start doing that tomorrow. Build up to it. Otherwise, you'll be cursing my name in the middle of the night when you're up 4 times a day. Oh, nutrition. We know what to eat, right? We know what to eat. The problem is actually making ourselves do it. And there's so much information out there on eat this, don't eat this. Eggs are good for you. Eggs are bad for you. You can have coffee. Nope, coffee causes cortisol levels to shoot through the roof. There is so much information out there that we can get so paralyzed on what we should be doing that we literally just drive through the fast food instead, right? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Figure out what works for you. There is no cookie cutter magic diet out there that works magically for everybody. You have to figure out what works for you. Fasting can work for some people. It may not work for you. You have to start experimenting and figuring out what works. So the goal for nutrition is progress over perfection. I use the instead of method, okay? You're going out to eat. This is what you want. What can you do instead of? If you want French fries, what can you get instead of the French fries to make it a little bit better? Progress over perfection. Anybody think of one thing that they can change today to improve their nutrition? Anybody want to share? One thing that you can change today. Yeah.
One of my goals is just to have half of my vegetables.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Half of her plate to be vegetables. Yeah. Even just looking for more color in your foods. How can you create more color in your foods? Yeah. Lean protein with every meal. I know that's not always easy, but striving for those lean proteins are really important. But if you start to increase your protein, make sure you're also getting in your fiber and your healthy fats. Otherwise, again, you're going to curse my name because you won't be able to go to the bathroom. You're going to be constipated. Protein takes longer to break down. So make sure that you are still getting in your water. Helps with the digestion. It all works together. Green vegetables. Who hates green vegetables? You're like, I'm not eating green vegetables. Good. We all love green vegetables. Little trick, just throw your spinach in a smoothie in the morning or a protein. Get your vegetables somehow, some way. Chop up your spinach, put it in your lasagna. I don't care. Just start adding more green vegetables any way that you can. Spinach can go in everything. Popeye was a genius. Fruits. I actually had a client tell me I can't eat fruits because they're carbohydrates. Not all carbohydrates are the same. Carbohydrates are not bad for you. Carbohydrates are essential. They are your energy source. It's too much carbohydrates that causes the issue, and it's the type of carbohydrates that we eat. Eat your fruit. It has all your it's a carb. It's got antioxidants. It has all of these great things in there for you. So we're going to avoid fruit, but we're going to be okay going to Starbucks every morning, right? Fiber. Again, 25 grams of fiber for women is what's recommended daily. If you have ever tracked your fiber, you know that we're probably not getting 25 grams of fiber daily. Fiber is what feeds the good bacteria. It is your prebiotics. Your gut health is so important. So another big tidbit to take away today, start adding more fiber into your diet. Whole foods, we know that. We know limit processed foods. Just really trying to figure out what's one thing that I can do and then build on it. Movement. How much time do I have?
20 minutes.
Ha, good. All right, maybe we'll work out later too. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Your movement. So, how many of you hate the word exercise? Hate to Lisa's like the only person that's participating today. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so glad you're here. She's so honest. She's so honest. I love it. Okay, how many of you love to exercise? God, I love this group. I knew I love this group. Yes, yes. A lot of people have a negative connotation with exercise, or they have a bad relationship with exercise. When I talk to my clients, I use the word movement. Yes, we're exercising. Exercise is important, but getting into the right mindset of movement and moving your body for health is going to take you a lot farther than feeling like I have to exercise to lose weight. I have to exercise to feel good. I have to exercise. No, you get to exercise. God made our bodies to move. How many of you have sat in a car? I just went to South Carolina and sat in a car with a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old, and I was in the back like a sardine for 12 hours.
Wow.
Yes. I had a brownie last night because my boyfriend and I had our anniversary, so I did. I treated myself. But when we sit too long, what's the first thing that you want to do? You want to get up, you want to stretch, you want to move around. Our bodies were made to move. When you move, you sleep better. When you sleep better, you have more energy to make the right choices. Movement is key. It's essential. It helps our mind. It helps our mood. How many of you exercise and after you're done, you're like, man, I feel so much better? Yes, absolutely. It doesn't have to go on for hours. I don't recommend exercising for hours on end. That is not healthy. That can actually lead to more stress on the body. So intentional movement, 30 minutes every day. Make it a priority. It's amazing how much you will learn about yourself and how much your life will start to change. You will begin to slow down naturally. You will find the ways to get it in. And you'll figure out where your excuses are. And when you start to figure out what your excuses are, then you can start to really look into, why is that an excuse for me? Why am I using that as an excuse? What's the deeper issue going on? Why am I avoiding this so much, right? So our movement helps to regulate blood sugar, which is super important. Our blood sugar gets regulated. How many people have problems with sugar cravings? Sugar cravings, yes. Yes. You start to do these 5 essential habits, and your sugar cravings will go down. Your blood sugar will start to get regulated. Increases energy, boosts immune system, respiratory health, stress reduction, improves sleep, etc. I mean, there's really no negative to exercise if you're doing it correctly. The goal, 30 minutes of intentional movement every single day. Anybody do that already? And movement doesn't have to mean you're lifting weights, you're going to the gym, you're running 30 minutes every single day. It doesn't have to be intense. You can go out for a 30-minute walk, an intentional 30-minute walk. You can just ride a bike. You can stand and watch your favorite Netflix and you're marching and you're just doing it for 30 minutes. That'd be kind of boring. But whatever it takes, just start creating the habit. When you start to create the habit, then you can start to build on it and you can start to implement some strength training, or you can start to implement, you'll start to create goals just based off that habit. You'll start to want to push yourself further. Sleep. How many people love sleep? Yes. Anybody want to go sleep right now? Anybody asleep right now? Sleep is one of the most important things, and we know that, but we are limiting our sleep, and we cause a lot of our own sleep problems. We're on our phone until God knows when, watching reels and TikToks right before we go to bed, or we're watching the latest crime show until we go to bed. That might just be me, but there's a lot of people out there that complain about not getting enough sleep, or they're too tired or whatever. And then they say, that's my downtime. That's my time right before bed. That's my time to do what I want to do. Yeah, I get that. But guess what? The best thing that you can do for yourself is go to sleep at a good time. Get 7 to 9 hours every single night. It will change. And if you are not sleeping well, or you're having trouble going to sleep, start doing the other 4 habits and it will start to improve. It all works together. And when you're working on those habits and you're trying to implement those habits, the problem is it's scary, and we have to get really close to ourselves, and we start to realize some things about ourselves that we don't want to realize. So we just push it down and we go on because we don't want to have to deal with our own insecurities, our own fears. But remember, all of that is good stuff because it brings who we really are to light, and we can really start to shine through when we acknowledge it and we begin to own it. 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. That's the goal. Good sleep, good quality sleep. So stress and anxiety. Anybody not have any stress or anxiety in their life? Okay, I was going to hand you the mic. Stress and anxiety, it's a part of our life. It's part of it. But a lot of times we create our own stress, we create our own anxiety, and we do that in different ways. So if we're not getting enough sleep and we wake up tired, or we're rushing to work or traffic or whatever, we allow other things to create stress and anxiety in our life that doesn't really need to be there, right? Recovering Karen, right? Other people's actions would affect my own anxiety and stress. I had to identify that, realize that, and let it go. It's so much more peaceful. Affects emotional management. It's like what I was saying. Increased blood pressure, weight gain, weight loss. If we are constantly in a state of stress and anxiety, our body is constantly in that fight or flight mode. And when we are in fight or flight, then all of the blood is going to our extremities, and it disrupts our digestion. It disrupts our mood. Weakens immune system, disrupts gut health. I'm going to just throw this out there. Does everybody know what serotonin is and GABA and all that stuff? A lot of that is produced in the gut. The gut helps produce that. And if our gut health is disrupted, it can affect our mood and our anxiety levels. GABA is what helps us to come down from that fight or flight stage. So your gut health is super, super important. It's not just about weight loss. It can't just be about weight loss because we won't get there otherwise. Hormonal imbalances, increased inflammation, and increases risk for disease. Stress is huge. So learning how to manage and identify our stress and our anxiety and learning who we are and about ourselves and how we respond to situations is huge in our stress response and our stress management. So learning about ourselves is key. Creating that positive relationship with yourself is so important. So the goal, practice stress relief exercises, breathing, deep breathing. You hear about it all the time now. Take a deep breath. There's courses on how to breathe deeply, right? But we don't do it. I know some of you probably do. But we just go. Once we get up and we get going and we start moving, we do not stop for the day. And then we get home and we start to reach for all kinds of things to help us re-regulate, right? Things that aren't good for us. Journaling, meditation, mindfulness, meditation, and then practicing the other 4 habits. It all helps. Does anybody do any of this on a regular basis? What do you guys find? What do you do for your stress management that works for you? Because it's not for everybody. Journaling isn't for everybody. Yes. One of my favorites. Yes. Meditation. Yes. Yes. We are all going to hang out. Absolutely. Seriously. Yes. Yes. Get it out. Yes. You have to get it out. You have to get it out. And that's where part of it is owning it and understanding that it's a part of who we are. But how we respond to it is really, really important. And to be okay and know that, okay, stress, it's okay to feel stress and anxiety. And we don't have to feel happy all the time. We do not give yourself permission to feel what you feel, but how you respond to it and how you deal with it is what's going to lead to the outcomes and how you. Does that make sense? We want to mask all of the stress and anxiety so often that we reach for junk food, we reach for alcohol, we reach for other substances, we do things that we think are self-care, but it's really just trying to not deal with what we're really feeling. And all of that leads back to our physical health. So if you're struggling with a physical goal or weight loss or anything like that, really diving in and looking at what's the real root of what's going on. That's where it's difficult. That's why most people don't do it. But when you do it, it's amazing and it feels so, so good. I gained 30 pounds. I used to be a fitness competitor. I used to wear a really teeny tiny bikini and heels on a stage, and I gained 30, 40 pounds, and it was awful. That's how I identified myself. That wasn't who I was. That ended up actually being my escape, and I had to really learn who I was to get to a real, healthy, sustainable life that was healthy and happy. So we have to dig deep. So I've created this program called Love Your Reflection. It's a 90-day transformation program, and we dive into all of it. The mindset, the how to eat, what to eat. We talk about movement. What movement works for you? What movement doesn't work for you? It's not a cookie cutter program. This is a program where you have to be willing to create your own action steps. And to create your action steps, you have to be willing to say, this is where I'm at right now. This is where I want to go. And this is what I have to overcome. We have to identify what our insecurities, our fears are. What are our obstacles? And then we have to own it, and then we have to move past it, and we start taking the action. So I have a group starting on Monday. So if you are interested, you can let me know. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Okay. I'm going to hand out one more paper here, if you don't mind. Sure. So on this, it's just a little speaker survey, just another thing to kind of dive a little deeper and think a little bit more. What is your biggest aha from today? What are you going to take away today and put into action? Because action is the key. We can't just sit around and think about it, right? Can't dwell on it. We have to put it into action, okay? So in the 90-day program, if you want more information, you can check the box below and put your name and email address, and I will send you information on that. It is in a group setting. It's all online. Every single week, you get new videos. Some of those videos and courses include improving your gut health, mindful and intuitive eating. There's all kinds of things on mindset, creating that positivity. I have what I call the POP method, and it relates to progress over perfection and power of positivity, and how to keep that forefront of your mind every single day. So you have worksheets that go along with the lessons. So it's not a super intensive program where you're doing stuff every single day. It really is for you to build and learn how to implement the 5 healthy habits, create them for yourself, and to create that healthy lifestyle that you can sustain for life. Any questions? Thank you. I also started, I'm big on getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that scare you and facing your fears. So I did start a podcast. There are 3 episodes on there right now. I'm putting another one on today. But it's called Losing It, exclamation point, daily, with Coach Erin. So you can find that wherever you listen to podcasts. Or you can go to my website and just click on the podcast page, and they're listed there. They're quick 15-minute little blurps, and they're about my own journey. And then I will have guest speakers on there. So if you are in the health and wellness world, and you want to be a guest speaker on my podcast, I would love to have you. So, but yeah, so I also offer free motivational coaching calls. So if you want to talk about your goals and figure out maybe what could be holding your back or what your limiting beliefs are and how we can move past that, or maybe you're not sure what's holding you back and you want to kind of dive a little bit deeper and see if we can figure that out. You can just check that box at the bottom, and I will contact you. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And take your mirrors with you and use them as a reminder of how beautiful and amazing you are.